Good evening, and welcome to the Franklin Fire Virtual Community Meeting for Saturday, December 14th, 2024. My name is Jazz Shaw, Public Information Officer. First, I would like to start out with some updated numbers on acreage and containment. The Franklin Fire currently is at 4,037 acres, 38% containment, and we have 1,716 personnel assigned to the fire. I wanted to tell the community that tonight will be the last YouTube Live community meeting that we will be hosting on the Franklin Fire. Up next, experts will discuss fire suppression methods, weather impacts, fire behavior, and evacuations. Then we will have a message from our Unified Incident Commanders. If our viewers have additional questions that are not answered during the presentation, please submit your questions in the chat section so that we may address those questions at the conclusion of our presentation. Up next, we will start with a presentation by operations.
Good evening, Drew Smith, Operations Section Chief for the Franklin Incident. And first, I'd like to start with a thank you. I wear two hats on this incident. One of those is being one of the Operations Section Chief, but secondly is being your jurisdictional fire chief. And I just wanted to thank the community for all the support that you've given the firefighters that are committed to this incident. I'd like to walk you around the fire so I can give you an update of where we're at with things. We've had highly successful weather to take advantage of some opportunity, but with that opportunity, once again, I'm going to talk to risk. As we have a perimeter of this fire that we're trying to control, that we're keeping within the containment lines, that gives our firefighters an opportunity to engage and extinguish. And as we do that, we go deeper and deeper into this fire to extinguish those smokes, which gives our firefighters the possibility and potential, truthfully, for injury, because they're digging in deeper and deeper to extinguish all those smokes through the technology we have, through line of sight of seeing where the heat signatures are. So we're engaged in that. So I know that you see there may be not any smoke production, but there is heat that's still within that fire footprint. So walking around the fire here, we have everything that's established along Piuma Road that goes down with hand line through very steep and rugged terrain that we continue to engage our hand crews and our engines plumbing that with water to extinguish any of those heat signatures so it doesn't pose a threat to the line. As we walk or go around the front side through the community and along Pacific Coast Highway, we have our engine companies that are engaged, extinguishing those hot heat signatures, and also engaged in community interaction to help the residents in answering questions. And once again, I'd like to thank you for that interaction that you've had with our firefighters. As we look at the west end of the fire, very steep and rugged terrain. Malibu Canyon, we have areas that we cannot get our hand crews into because it's over 100% slope. It's very steep. We have a lot of rock challenges. We don't want to injure our firefighters, so we're using aerial support with our helicopters to drop on heat signatures that may potentially threaten the line. So our main goal and objective is to completely extinguish what we have that poses a threat for any movement in this fire. And I feel highly confident with the weather that we have and where we're transitioning to that we're going to maintain this fire. As we look around and we go down to the Porco and Corral Canyon area, same thing, we have some challenging topography and we're still walking in and using our hand crews and engine companies to extinguish and secure the perimeter. And with that, that's the end of the operations report. Thank you.
Good evening, Rich Thompson, incident meteorologist on the Franklin incident. Weather-wise, from my side of things, we'll be looking for in the next few days is periods of offshore winds. We're looking for tomorrow into Monday, some north-northeast winds, probably gusting about 20 to 30 miles per hour across the area. Then those winds will diminish a little bit during the day on Monday, but then heading into Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we're still looking for the potential for a moderate Santa Ana wind event here across both this area and all of Southern California. So right now I'm expecting In that Tuesday to Thursday time frame, wind gusts from the north and northeast about maybe 30 to 50 miles per hour. And along with that, you're going to see humidities dropping down into the teens, maybe even some locally single digits. So overall, it's going to be very, very dry and pretty breezy out there for the next few days. So just kind of, be something we'll have to watch and so forth. But right now, still looking for that moderate Santa Ana there on Tuesday to Thursday time frame.
Good evening, Jan Smoots, Fire Behavior Analyst for the Franklin Incident. So over the last few days, we've really enjoyed the benefit of cooler and moist weather that's assisted with making sure that we're getting all the hot spots extinguished within the fire perimeter. And it's really been driving down the fire danger around the area and reducing the threat of further spread of the Franklin fire. Tomorrow is going to mark the first of a series of days where that fire danger is going to start to increase a little bit. Now, through tomorrow and Monday, we're going to see a little bit of a rise in fire danger, but still moderate conditions. It's going to give us the firefighters a bit more time to make sure that they're getting all those hot spots that Chief Smith talked about extinguished. And then Tuesday into Thursday, the fire danger is going to ramp up a little bit and be and kind of peak that Tuesday night into Wednesday. I'd like to take a moment to just remind everybody out there to make sure that you're being extremely careful with any heat sources during that time frame. Thank you.
Good evening, Sergeant Coe with the Malibu Lost Hill Sheriff Station. I would like to go over some of the closures which are still in place. You have Malibu Canyon remains a hard closure between Civic Center Way and Piuma Road. The soft closures, which are to residents only, and they must still show their ID, is going to be Los Flores Canyon, north of Pacific Coast Highway, Carbon Canyon, north of Pacific Coast Highway, Sweetwater Canyon, Purico Canyon, Corral Canyon, and those are all north of Pacific Coast Highway. Throughout the night, we will continue to have security patrols in the affected areas, monitoring, along with also the traffic control. Thank you.
Good evening, Malibu. I'm Doug Stewart, the mayor. Thank you for joining us again this evening as we continue to focus on recovery efforts following the Franklin fire. On Tuesday, December 17th, the Local Assistance Center will open at City Hall from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. The city is working closely with the Los Angeles County Office of Emergency Management to organize this event, which will bring together representatives from over 15 agencies to assist residents and businesses. The center will provide resources and support for rebuilding, debris removal, permits, utility reconnections, mental health services, and more. If you need guidance during this recovery process, the Local Assistance Center will serve as a centralized hub for information and assistance. As we prepare to reopen City Hall, I'd like to provide some important updates about upcoming operations. City Hall will open for regular business on Wednesday, December 18th at 8 a.m. That Wednesday evening, we'll host an in-person town hall and community forum at our council chambers at 6 p.m. This forum will provide updates, resources, and an opportunity for residents to ask questions and share concerns as we move forward. Our schools are also making important progress in reopening. The Santa Monica Malibu Unified School District has announced plans to reopen Malibu Elementary, Malibu Middle, and Malibu High Schools on Monday, December 16th, following cleaning and air quality assessments. Webster Elementary School will remain closed for repairs and expected to reopen on January the 6th, 2025. In the interim, Webster students and staff will temporarily relocate to the Malibu Elementary School starting Tuesday, December 17th. To support this transition, the city is temporarily adjusting parking restrictions near Malibu Elementary. Parking restrictions along Gray Fox will be temporarily removed except for Fernhill Drive from Gray Fox Street to the school's driveway entrance, which will be used for students' pickup and drop-off. To minimize congestion, the schools have coordinated staggered pickup and drop-off times for Malibu Elementary and Webster Elementary students. We appreciate everyone's patience as we make these adjustments to ensure a transition for the students, the families, and the staff. In addition to these recovery efforts, I'd like to share updates on recent infrastructure repairs. The water main repair at 6509 Wandermere Road has been completed and water service has been fully restored to all the affected residents and the fire hydrant. Crews are finalizing cleanup in the area, and this issue has been resolved. As residents return to their homes, we recognize how overwhelming this process can be, especially for those who have experienced damage and loss. We want you to know that there are resources available to help you manage the emotional toll of this recovery process. The Boys and Girls Club of Malibu Wellness Center is offering free counsel service for residents impacted by the fire. You can contact the Wellness Center at 310-457-6801, extension 74141, or go to their website, wellnessinformation@bgcmalibu.org, or the Los Angeles County Department of Mental Health. Additional resources are available at dmh.lacounty.gov, or you can call 800-854-7771. Please don't hesitate to reach out if you or your family needed support. Finally, I want to address the potential for a public safety power shutoff. The city is aware that Southern California Edison has issued a public safety power shutoff, that's a PSPS, monitoring notice for Cuthbert, McGuire, Merlin, and Sarah circuits due to predicted wind speeds and a potential for a red flag event starting this Tuesday through Thursday. Mother Nature isn't giving us much time to breathe, and we understand the community's concern about losing cell service during a power outage and the critical need for emergency communication. Please know that this is a top priority for us, and I can assure you we're working closely with our public safety partners to monitor and prepare for potential impacts. I encourage everyone to be vigilant and stay informed by continuing to monitor updates on the city's website at malibucity.org/FranklinFire and alertla.gov. You can also call the city's information line at 310-456-2489, and it's available from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. It may be an automated response, but it will direct you to the appropriate location for your needs. As I close tonight, I want to thank everyone who has contributed to the Malibu recovery. From our first responders, our volunteers, community members, to the Malibu Community Fire Brigade, the CERT team, Arson Watch, volunteers on patrol, and local groups. Your dedication and hard work have been instrumental. We're making steady progress, and the city is here to support you in every step of the way. Together, we will rebuild stronger than ever and stay informed and take care of one another. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us tonight for the virtual meeting on the Franklin Fire. I am Albert Yanagisawa, Deputy Fire Chief and Unified Incident Commander. I appreciate the opportunity to provide you an update on our ongoing response and recovery efforts. Our damage inspection teams have now completed 90% of their assessments. For a detailed interactive map for the damage inspections, please visit recovery.lacounty.gov. That's recovery.lacounty.gov. Additionally, I'm pleased to report that the Department of Public Works, like the mayor mentioned, has fully restored all affected water systems. But also, I wanted to add that the boil water advisory has also been lifted. Residents can now safely consume water from their tap. Our fire investigation team remains diligently at work. As of this evening, the cause of the fire is still under investigation. I would like to extend my deepest gratitude to the residents of Malibu for their unwavering support, kindness, and resilience during this difficult time. Your cooperation has been critical in advancing our response efforts. Lastly, I want to acknowledge the tireless work of our first responders, emergency management personnel, and community volunteers. They remain fully committed to extinguishing all remaining hotspots and heat sources to ensure the community's safety. Our fire protection system, the incident command system, is dependent upon community involvement and effective participation. We will provide further updates as new information becomes available. Thank you for your support, your attention, and your trust. Stay safe. Have a good night.
Good evening. My name is Dusty Martin, one of the Unified Incident Commanders with CAL FIRE. As you've heard, this evening from the unified group that has spoken before me, we continue to gain containment percentage on the fire. You also heard from our operations section chief that there are still hot spots out there, and firefighters are working diligently to extinguish all hot spots. But must note that there is the impending wind that is coming, as our IMET talked about, starting tomorrow, and then also the moderate Santa Ana wind event. I'll assure you that we will have personnel on this fire to make sure that we get to full containment and we get through the wind that is coming. We ask that you stay vigilant amongst the community, as you heard from our F-band, to be cautious with any potential heat sources with the wind coming in, and noting that our relative humidities are dropping with that wind. We'd like to thank all of the residents in the area for their continued support, their continued cooperation. Please remember that our first responders are still going to be out there working. Drive safe, pay attention. Please don't get distracted as you're out there, as we have folks working along the roadways. With that, have a great night, stay safe, and we'll talk to you soon.
We thank you for all the great presentations and information that was provided to the community. That concludes the presentation portion of the meeting, and we will address questions from the chat. Do we have any questions that are ready from our viewers on the YouTube chat? It looks okay. It appears that we do not have any questions. Again, tonight we will go ahead and leave that chat open, so if there are questions, we do have staff that is monitoring the chat, and we could go ahead and put the answer in that YouTube chat. And we do have one question that did come in, so be mindful that we want to make sure that your questions are answered. I'm just going to give them a couple of minutes to give that question to the subject matter expert so that they can give you the best information to answer your question. Okay. We have one question?
We do.
Okay, come on up. Thank you.
Question is where did the fire start? So I could say on Malibu Canyon Road, just south of the tunnel, on the south side of the roadway system.
Okay, thank you very much. That looks like it was the only question. If you do have a need for additional information, you can please visit fire.ca.gov. Again, that is fire.ca.gov, or you can go to lacounty.gov/emergency. Again, that's lacounty.gov/emergency. As we wrap up this final YouTube community meeting, I want to take a moment to express our heartfelt gratitude to the community of Malibu for your support and engagement. This concludes our community meeting. Thank you for joining us, and have a good night.